What's happening, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to the Crash Bang Boom podcast. Today's guest is Scott Middleton of Asheville, North Carolina's mountain-psych-stoner band BASK. Scott and I talk about BASK's killer new record, The Turning, the process of writing the material, adding all the layers for the recording, his experience recording the drums with it, as well as other gear and nerdery involved in the recording. We also talk about the floods in Asheville that were so incredibly destructive and get a glimpse into Scott's experience being initially trapped up in the mountains and then finally making his way down into town to see the destruction firsthand. We also talk about the shared experiences of floods and or natural disasters between myself, Scott, and who inevitably mixed the record, and Andrew Schneider. And lastly, we get to talk about using drums as a healing instrument and how Scott's incorporated that into his work. A segment with video of the interview can be found on the Crash Bang Boom podcast YouTube page, as well as the full interview and all of the interviews for that matter. So per usual, I hope y'all enjoy it. Now that I'm past the 300 episode mark, feel free to check out any of the previous episodes, and if you enjoy the combos, feel free to give me a sweet review and or a subscription on your preferred podcast platform. Thanks for the support over the last 9 years. It is certainly appreciated. Okay, here we go. Scott Middleton of BASK. Crash Bang Boom.
Crowds go mad with joy.
Scott Middleton of BASK, straight out of Asheville. Dude, what's happening, man? It's been a minute.
Just hanging, surviving wild times, mostly through the grace of music and good buddies like you, and I'm really stoked to be back on this again. Man, I was so excited the first time when you reached out, and we've exchanged a lot of crazy stories and had some good laughs over the years, and just, excited to be on here with you again, because you have some amazing drummers on your podcast, and I'm just honored that I get to even be involved.
Right on, man. Yeah, it's been a crazy year for you. To start off, congrats on The Turning. I think it's a great record. Y'all have always sort of conveyed sort of some mysterious mountain vibes, I feel like, in your music. But I think with this one in particular, it seems like hearing maybe mountain instrumentation, whether it's like a banjo here or some sort of string instrument or something, I'm like, boy, they're channeling the mountains hard on this one, man.
Yeah, we changed it up a little bit. We add more instrumentation in general. You got banjo on there. There's piano, cellist, and trumpet player on the last track. We had the cellist and trumpet player join us live at the Orange Peel in Asheville, and that made it extra droney and weird and dark and folky in a way. But yeah, I think adding those elements definitely contributed to a better album, and I'm stoked that we are branching out in different ways like that because. Yeah, you've got to. I feel like to keep it interesting, just be expansive.
Absolutely. Where did y'all record it? Because I know we have a mutual friend in Andrew Schneider who mixed your record, and I think it sounds great. Take me into, I guess, first of all, when did you record it? Because I know that y'all had some disruptions, to say the least, in Asheville. We'll definitely get to that, which is crazy. But I guess going back to the tracking, where did y'all record it?
Yeah, we tracked and recorded it last August before the hurricane, thankfully, at Echo Mountain Recording Studios in Asheville, one of the biggest studios in town. And we did our previous album there, 3, with Matt Bayless at Echo Mountain as well. This time, Kenny Harrington produced it, or engineered it, and Zeb, our singer and guitarist, was an assistant engineer essentially the whole time and did a whole lot of work and has been busting his butt there. So yeah, props to all those people involved and to Echo Mountain. The people involved with Echo Mountain, like during COVID, everything had just been just a huge part of the Asheville local music community, and have everybody's backs essentially, and it's like a hub of the creation there.
Super cool. When y'all recorded it, was it fairly standard in that y'all kind of track drums first with some scratch tracks, or did you track as much as you could live to get as much as you could live, or how did that process go?
Yeah, we always get drums down first, and this go around had my first experience with a tempo map, and I can't say I did it myself. Props goes to Kenny for that one.
Right.
Yeah, I was pushing a little too hard. I get pretty revved up in the studio, and he found a way to match me and how I tend to not, be on the beat at times. That's
Sure.
something I always want to get better at. Is the click is elusive for a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
I think slowly getting better over the years, but I feel like for me it takes almost to like 40 years old to be decent at it. It's a continual struggle, as you know, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, part of y'all's music as well is that sort of expanding, contracting sort of style of getting through parts and transition into parts, those big, washy, kind of ethereal stuff with like the big kind of doomy stoner stuff. So clicks don't always lend themselves in those instances. Sometimes what you want is a little bit of fluctuation.
Yeah, that's right. We do have this weird chemistry to where we usually can lock it in together, even if it's not click worthy. Yeah, a funny story regarding that. We tracked Ramble Beyond with Travis Kameyer in Johnson City. We had one song that he was like, "You guys maybe want to put a click on it?" We're like, "No, just we've been practicing this for like a year. Like we've been honing it in. So let us do our thing." And somehow we pulled it off on an instrumental track. But yeah, this goes. We've been playing since 2013 together. So it's just like chemistry can solve a lot of issues.
Nice. You mentioned Travis. Is that a bass player of Generation of Vipers?
Yeah, they played our release show as well, and man, that band should be huge. His other band, Hal, like space rock, kind of in the vein of Failure or any of that cool '90s space rock stuff. Hal should be huge.
Yeah.
In a Just World. Yeah, so check out those bands. Recommend them both. Both have awesome drummers as well, Kevin and Hal, and Billy and Generation of Vipers. I feel like you got to talk to those guys. But yeah, every time a friend comes out to Asheville, doesn't know Generation of Vipers, and sees them live, they're like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
It's like so heavy. It's like noise rock metal. It's progressive and technical. It's just awesome.
They're so good. I saw them recently. I actually opened up a bill here in Atlanta with them and was able to do my solo project, and they ended the night. And God, I mean, I love the recordings. Again, Andrew Schneider mixed one of theirs, and then the most recent, Kurt Ballou. And yeah, that band is so badass, so heavy, so like the tones are so dialed in, the tempos are dialed in. Like you said, there's this awesome noise rock element to it. They're so good. I can't say enough good things about Generation of Vipers. Good God.
Yeah, same here. And actually, it's funny. It takes me back to the release show just a couple weeks ago at the Orange Peel. I had one buddy look over once they were done, and he's like, "Tough act to follow up." I was like, "Yeah, no shit, dude." I was like, "I already know this. You don't have to tell me." But very true. They crushed it, and yeah, it was a great night. Yeah, Tombstone Poetry, kind of like a new cosmic country-ish, and like younger, probably like 10 years or so younger than us. Generation of Vipers, our buddy Cliff Worsham, singer-songwriter stuff. And then Secret Shame, awesome post-punk out of Asheville. So, yeah, we like to always keep the bills diverse. And, yeah, I just want to say thanks to everyone in Asheville for a great release show on the day of.
Awesome, man. I know you've been a Vistalite guy since I remember seeing you live. When it came time to record the record, did you use your kit? Did you record with those Vistalite drums?
Yeah. And in the studio, I do use the full like Bonham setup, but typically don't take that on the road. It's just too big of a footprint. And yeah, like most stages in general don't usually have the room for that. Plus, it's honestly way tougher to get around that big kit than I want to admit at times. Nice 4-piece. Even with moving from a 14-inch rack to an 18-inch floor tom still is like can be intense after like other kits I have.
Yeah, yeah. And my mind, when I think about your playing, I feel like the Vistalite sound is lends itself to your playing, and that's also kind of just what I've always known you to play. So I'm like, yeah, he's a Vistalite guy. I feel like if you're gonna kind of capture your sound and everything, like, yeah, you record the Vistalites, go for it.
Yeah, I got those in 2015, and I feel like the sound of those drums changed the sound of the band because previously I was, long story short, I had some drum stuff stolen, and it was playing like a mid-range Tama kit, which also sounded great. I think it was Birch. Came in for his, not Superstar, the mid-range one. But yeah, Jesse from Bass, the bassist, actually saw that they were in Atlanta at the Atlanta Drum Collective, if you remember them.
Yeah.
Man, got a crazy good deal. Like now they're insane with inflation and how the economy is.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I got on that kit 10 plus years ago.
Absolutely, man. I know, like we were talking about earlier, that Andrew Schneider, he mixed the record. Did you say, if so, I might have missed it. When, like, how long ago did y'all finish tracking it, more or less, the record?
Yeah, just about a year. So it was around this time last year that
Okay.
it was starting to get mixed and mastered. and yeah, Zeb had a huge hand in handling that stuff as well, the singer. But yeah, so August of like 2024 was most of the tracking, and then yeah, about a year ago. So yeah, it took a while, to get the vinyl going and all that stuff, as
Oh
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah, man. I mean, to take it back to the disruption, which is to put it lightly, I forget when I saw you last in Asheville, but it was, to my recollection, 3 days before the crazy biblical, insane flooding of Asheville. And
Yeah.
like I met you at a brewery right down there by the river. And that was one of the places I was seeing pictures, and it was like everything inside of it was washed away. And it happened within like 3 days of being there. So I guess take me back to what happened. I know that you're always tripping me out talking about you got bears and shit outside of your house. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, you're not armed to the teeth? Do you need shotguns in every room? What's happening here? You're surrounded by fucking bears, man.
Probably do.
I guess take me back to what that storm going down, and I know you were out there without power and everything else. So take me to that craziness that happened.
Yeah, it was literally the storm of the century. And it was a perfect storm, quote unquote, in a way, because I think we had some intense rainfall that had already soaked the ground. So there was like a base layer of water, and then we just got the hell beat out of us. And in my brain, I thought it was gonna be like a 24-hour event, and we were supposed to go to Europe, to Germany, and play a couple of big festivals the following Tuesday. But it's like there was no way in hell we were gonna leave our loved ones and our friends and family in those conditions, because just to put it in the context, like there's places in town. If it was a war zone without the bullets.
Yeah.
It really looked like that, and I wouldn't wish anybody to go through that. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah. How long were you out of power for out at your house?
Man, honestly, I think it's all in the subconscious now. I think I buried a lot of it. It was more than a week, I feel like, but have clean drinking water was like a month and a half. It was like November-ish. So like, the army was in town. You had to go get your drinking water from the army, these giant container trucks and stuff. And it felt like being an ET or something, like it was very post-apocalyptic, and it was scary. And I think like there's legit trauma in the area. But I think, it's like we're all kind of trauma bonded, hopefully more resilient. I'm very thankful that we all survived, and didn't have too many people in our vicinity, like in our realm, be crazy affected. But we have like fans that come out to our show in Asheville that were literally hanging on to the roof of their houses.
Yeah.
And it's just heartbreaking what some people went through. So yeah, it was a hell of a time. But yeah, here we are still doing music. And yeah, thankfully so, because I think I said earlier, it's like, it always pulls us back in. It's our saving grace, and that's why you and I are chatting.
Yeah, I mean, when it went down, and it's weird because I ended up in New York after Hurricane Katrina, so I went out to my dad's, which was an hour north of New Orleans, and just kind of, we knew that trees would likely come through the house. They did, and then I was out there for a few days, and then finally got a flight out of Baton Rouge to go to New York, and then because of his bizarre series of events, ended up staying there for 15 years. But I remember within the first few days of that happening, cell phones are down, communication is down. Just because you can talk to a neighbor doesn't mean that you can get the word out that you're okay, and you don't have a sense of the grand scale of how all of this was affected. So I guess how long, other than your neighbors, were you able to reach out to people, or how long did that take? What was that process of even being like, hey, I'm alive,
I remember the storm, peaked at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and I texted friends and family, I'm safe. And the only reason I could text people after that is at the bottom of my hill, a neighbor had Starlink, I believe. And I had another neighbor tell me that neighbor had that. So it was like this word of mouth. Otherwise, I don't remember. It was, I guess, the following Tuesday, we were supposed to leave for Europe, and like we couldn't be in contact with each other. And that was maybe one of the toughest parts, because like you didn't know where to get clean drinking water.
Right.
You didn't know where to get food. And really, there was a giant line around the grocery store, blocks and blocks worth. And apparently, like by the time you got in, it wasn't even worth it. There's nothing to really get off the shelves. So it was this chaos and crisis mode. And a lot of the timelines are all blurry, because it was a straight up survival mode for the first week. And I've got family in the Charlotte region, a couple hours away, and I got there like 4 or 5 days after the storm hit, because I just was ill prepared and getting gas. Like, there was guns pulled, getting gas, and those kinds of stories, and
Yeah.
other awful stories from like the country of people getting held up, taking supplies and stuff, which was fewer and far between. But yeah, those times you got to be on your toes a little bit, sadly.
Yeah. I mean, when you were going to get water from the Army, I guess, what was it like the National Guard had set up and they were getting y'all like gallons of water to take back to your house essentially?
Yeah, just like gallons and gallons worth. There's like non-potable water and potable that you could get. And I want to give props to Dissolver Brewing. I'm not sure if you've been there in downtown Asheville, but like the first day or two, they were very prepared. And it was one of the few spots in town where you could get water right after it hit.
Wow.
And it was like a 1 or 2 man crew, like the owner, both the owners, just doing their thing. And there's like a giant line outside and people were, bitching and moaning. And I'm like, man, they didn't see what was going on the inside. It was like 2 of my buddies just being sweethearts and doing their best to help the community. It was all insane. Just honestly, I'm very fortunate that I wasn't smushed in my little cabin in the woods. There were trees down everywhere, and I'm very fortunate to be chatting with you.
None came through the house?
No, thankfully not. On my car, a good bit. Not giant trees, like smaller trees and stuff. But it was just crazy to see how it unfolded that day. Like I just saw that, I was like, oh shit, my car is totally covered up. And then the bottom of my driveway was covered. I was like, oh, I'm not getting off I got to clear this first. And then, went both ways on the side of the mountain. And it's just, branches upon branches of bigger trees that it was going to take days to get through. So thankfully at the time, I had my bicycle, got through all the trees and biked down to my girlfriend's house in Asheville, which was only like 4 or 5 miles away. But yeah, down power lines, like, just obviously you don't want to touch those. Like it was like being in a crazy video game, getting through it all, and I'm fortunate I'm in decent enough shape to make that happen. But if I was elderly or something, it could have been pretty damn rough.
Damn. So you didn't have like a substantial stockpile of canned food and booze and beer?
Definitely. Yeah. I had the beer at the time. Not a ton. Yeah. I was like, oh, cool. Hurricane party.
Right. Exactly.
But not a ton of food. I was ill prepared. But for me, I think I had gotten back into town like a night or two from working in Charlotte. So I kind of just heard about it in passing. And I want to give props to Ray, our guitarist. I remember our practice space at the time was in Swannanoa, which was just brutalized. But he was like, hey guys, we might want to get the stuff off the ground in there. And I was like, I was just naive and most of us were ignorant to it, but I kind of like brushed it off. But thankfully we took some precautions and didn't lose a ton of stuff, but we did end up having to throw out a lot, like furniture, speakers, anything that kind of got touched with the water. Cause you don't want to know what's in that, that storm water. It's just,
totally,
it's pretty awful stuff. I had a couple inches of water in my Vista kick.
Damn.
Which was pretty nuts to see that. But really, considering that space was in Swannanoa, like we're lucky it didn't get hit even harder. And I remember going back to the space a few days later. There were some Hurricane Katrina survivors from New Orleans, and I was just making small talk, and man, that made me tear up. Just like some stranger from hours and hours away, just wanting to help us out because they know. They've been through it. They've been there. And that was just like, there's a lot of beautiful humanity like that. Just people pulling together and strangers just trying to help out humans. And I feel like we all need to experience that more these days,
I agree. Yeah, it's one of the strange benefits of having acrylic shells. You don't need to worry so much about wood warping if they are to get wet, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
A little lucky with that one, I guess.
Definitely. Did you lose any other drum stuff, or you were able to like salvage anything that did get some water on it or in it?
Yeah, it seems like all the stuff that's like not insurable, like a lot of sticks, like stuff got rusted, like cowbells, like toolboxes, stuff like that. I've got we had to toss out of Oregon. That was pretty cool. That we had in the space. Yeah, I remember just seeing a few inches of water on like the orange cab of Ray's. I can't remember everything that was tossed right now, but there's definitely pictures. I think we had to toss out, PA monitors and stuff like that.
Right. Once you got down to your girlfriend's, is she more like downtown Asheville or close to it?
Yeah, she was at the time, and we also couldn't communicate. We literally ran into each other on the street after she had gone to the grocery store, and I was like, she's never not at her place, and just literally bumped into her on the street, and we're like, holy hell. Thankfully, yeah, it seemed like a little divine intervention or something.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it was all a guessing game. Everything from food to water to when the power is going to come back on, when the water is going to come back. Because when the main water pipe like that gets drinkable water into Asheville is just beat to hell. Like I don't know if it burst or like broken in half or what, but it was beat up. So that hence why it was such an issue. Like the Army came in and had to fix that over a month and a half ish.
Yeah. When you were up at your house, which again, I mean, you're fairly isolated, especially in that instance where there's minimal communication. Did you have a sense at all? Were you hearing from other people, the few people that you could talk to, about how the flooding happened, like more downtown and along the river through Asheville? Did you have a sense of it?
Actually, yeah, kind of talking about like the puzzle piece aspect of it. Like no, because yeah, without the Wi-Fi, like
Yeah, how
all
could
you
you
knew
know?
was all you knew was your immediate surroundings. And like, oh shit, okay, I got to survive this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had no idea that River Arts District was flooded and like just decimated. I didn't know about Swananoa being beat to hell. It was weird. It kind of took a few days to see it, like to get off the mountain and to be able to get Wi-Fi and stuff. Yeah, that made you feel even more fortunate. Like it was continually like what had happened to us all was coming to sight, and it was really just eerie and this crazy time.
Yeah. And then once you get down there, then you actually see it from places that you're familiar with, being from there, and you're like, holy shit, this was altered so heavily. It's unbelievable to see it.
Yeah. So you
Unbelievable.
were in New Orleans during Katrina,
I
or
went like an hour north, so I wasn't worried
okay,
about flooding. We were just knew trees coming through the house were going to be an issue, and they were. But I'll
man?
take that. I'll take high ground and trees through the house over flooding any day.
Yeah, really. Because it happens so damn fast. Saw a
Yeah.
lot of videos during that time, and yeah, especially if you don't know it's coming, like yeah, just feel for a lot of people, and like feel for a lot of people that were in the hollers. Like there's probably a lot of people unaccounted for, sadly.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of things I feel fortunate for, like how close to downtown I was, and Dissolver, and there's a World Kitchen, I believe it's called. They were providing free food. I got a lot of free lunches, and it was pretty awesome
Nice.
for the first month or so. So yeah, there's a lot of beautiful aspects of humanity coming out in a really dark time.
Right.
That I'm fortunate to have seen. One of my favorite stories from during that time was like I was clearing my mountain off with this Florida man convict, like literally Florida man to a T. You've seen the memes. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much I should say, but yeah, ended up having a breathalyzer in his van to get us down the mountain. But I didn't know he was going to chop us up with a chainsaw. It was those kind of vibes at first, but yeah, we just had to trust the process a little bit, and it was great. I've got more stories, but don't want to what's the word?
Incriminate.
Thank you, incriminate him. Yeah,
Oh man.
I'll have to tell you in private, but
Yeah. Yeah.
if you're listening, Florida man, thank you. He's one of those people that like the apocalypse needs, like moments like that. Like
Yeah.
got a crazy story, been in prison multiple times, but he was helping out. And honestly, he might have been taking advantage of the situation a little bit. It was like a next door thing of like, just trying to help out and make a few bucks here and there. Like when I passed him on this dirt mountain road, he yelled out my address. I was like, oh shit, this isn't good. I was like, how do you know where I live? But anyway, I think he had been in touch with my landlord and what about her needing help and clearing stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
Start off on a weird foot. Like
Yeah,
this
right.
guy was sketchy vibes. But ended
Absolutely.
up helping him. We had some good jokes together, and yeah, thank you, Florida man, for the help.
Man, I'm assuming you know it. I can't imagine that Andrew Schneider wouldn't have told you, but you share a crazy correlation with him because he opened up a studio, and within the first month of opening it, there was a once-in-a-lifetime flooding in the Gowanus area of Brooklyn. He lost his entire studio and everything in
Yeah.
it.
Oh man, he reached out a week or two after, and yeah, it was really heartfelt, and yeah, I think it probably brought tears to our eyes at the time. It was like such a sweet message about like, hey man, I know what you're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the entire band, he wrote it. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
it was really sweet of him. Haven't met him in person. We'd love to, because yeah, he's been a part of so many albums we love, from like Cave In to I can't
Totally.
even remember the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know he's like right in our wheelhouse and of both of our listening tastes.
Yeah, for sure. Man, you mentioned doing the CD release show earlier. I know y'all played some other shows. Where did y'all go? What were some of the other venues, states, cities, et cetera, that y'all went to?
Atlanta, Savannah, which have been staples for us over the years.
Nice.
529, and I forgot to reach out. My bad.
That's all right. That's all right.
It can
was
be
on a s-
overwhelming on
Yeah.
on the road. You just forget like who to reach out to sometimes. But yeah, I got to see some buds in Richmond and then Philly. Made our way up to Maine. We had 2 nights in Maine at this inn that was haunted. The first night he didn't tell us these stories, but yeah, Charlie, drawing a blank on his last name, kind of in the middle of nowhere, Searsport, Maine. I was like in the sticks a good bit. But yeah, definitely Stephen King vibes.
Yeah.
And his haunting stories were freaky. I went to bed that night and had to go out to the van for something, and I was like tiptoeing around like a kid. Yeah, it kept it interesting. But yeah, props to Charlie and his venue. He runs the venue in Searsport.
Nice.
Maine. But yeah, had a day off in Maine.
I
Just got to
love
stroll
that
around
state,
and,
by the way.
yeah, it's
love Maine.
majestic.
Dude,
I
totally.
I get the appeal for sure.
Absolutely.
There's different quality about it, and it's quasi Canadian, I guess. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I find a lot of I think both the upper northeast, so Maine, and then the upper northwest, Washington State, two different coasts, but the northern reaches of the coastal parts of the country. I find both of those states beautiful and just something kind of magical about them. And living in New York, I was able to go up to Maine frequently and all the way up up to Bahaba, as they say with their crazy fucking accents. But I love it. Yeah, man, eating lobster and drinking wine and just hanging out. It's so beautiful there. It's so cool. I love it that y'all went up there and played.
Yeah, and then took 2 days to get back down to Asheville, and yeah, we're playing the Tampa Doom Fest in November. We're opening, or I guess kind of supporting Castle Rat October 1st at Eulogy in Asheville, so we're stoked on that. I haven't
Nice.
seen that band live, but I've heard it's an amazing show.
Awesome. What else? I know you've been doing you've got some other bands that you do. What are some of the other projects you're involved in the Asheville area?
Yeah, there was more going on a few years ago, but my other band is called Condroma, and it's with our new pedal steel player, Jed Willis.
Cool.
And it's ambient, droney. Really, we're a jam band, but I know, faux pas, right? But within ambient, droney, doomy metal context. And
Okay.
I mean, it kind of traverses all that, kind of like bass, take it high and low, but
Sure.
there's a little bit more stuff going on. Or just a different vibe going on, I should say. And we kind of keep it a cast of revolving people, whether it's bassists, synth players, singers, even I don't know if it was marimba we had recently.
Nice.
Played with a sitar player. We keep it an open revolving door, and it's fun. Sometimes it could be little painful because there's moments you're man, does this totally suck? When
Yeah.
you're, improvising, because we'll often have a 40-minute long quote unquote set. We know we want to touch upon certain things, but how we get there it changes
Right.
every time, and that's always a little freaky.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a fun challenge. Oh yeah, and also our most recent show we got to jam out with JD Pincus.
Awesome.
Famous bassist from the Butthole Surfers, and man, he's
Melvins.
such a character. Oh yeah. We're stoked to have him in Asheville.
Very cool. Is he living in Asheville?
Yeah, he's lived there for quite a few years, and I'd love to do put out a track with him. I think Jed did play pedal steel on I think his most recent album. I think it's called Grow a Pair.
Uh-huh.
PEAR is a great pun.
Nice. Good one.
But yeah, we're fortunate, and I feel very fortunate. Asheville's music scene, especially the experimental and beyond. I mean, we have folk for the obvious stuff, bluegrass and all that, but we have a really cool experimental underbelly that really gets me excited.
Nice, man. Who did the cover art?
Mitch Masaki. He's out of Black Mountain. I'm not sure if I'm butchering his name or not.
Mm-hmm.
He's a collage artist, and yeah, he's on Instagram. You can find him pretty easily.
Cool.
And yeah, conceptually, I thought the concept was cool that we gave to him, but I was definitely exceeded my expectations when we got it back. I was damn, I feel like he really crushed it, and we're all stoked on it.
Yeah. Whether it's a sort of through line of some sort of a concept record or something, whether it is or isn't, when I'm listening to it, I feel like it is.
Yeah, it is a bit, and I don't know all the details. That's Zeb's meanderings. But yeah, shout out to Zeb too. I don't give him enough credit in person, but I will after this. But yeah, I feel like his lyrics are great. And yeah, he crushes it vocally and playing wise. But yeah, it's a concept album about the cosmos, portals, and a character called the Traveler, and a separate character called the Rider. Beyond that, you'll have to pick Zeb's brain a little bit because I definitely don't have all the cliff notes.
Fair enough. And remind me again, I know sort of loosely what you do and like as an occupation, and I think we touched upon it the last time we talked, which was quite a few years ago. But remind me again of what that is. I know it incorporates drumming, which is apropos of this podcast, but also like who you work with and sort of what that's all about, because I find it super cool.
Yeah, I kind of do a few things, but I've been building my own small business that is part of the nonprofit hub, the Rhythmic Arts Project. I'm just like the Asheville small business branch of that. And it's an educational curriculum that uses drums and percussion to just like educate and empower students with disabilities.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an educational program. I definitely try to keep it fun and like, kind of rock out in classes and stuff, play along to songs. But I've been doing more than just that. I've been working with people with Alzheimer's and dementia recently, the same thing.
Wow.
Also doing general public classes. And I always tell my classes, I'm like, there's a million better hand drummers in Asheville than me. But it's like I teach like hand drumming through a rock drummer lens of, just working on subdivisions, rest, accents, who knows what. I would love working on this in class of like just taking a random word and then, how many beats to the word. Like I had a young kid years ago tell me Indianapolis. I was like, damn, how many syllables is that? But yeah, like take a random concept like that and then drum to it. And like, yeah, I feel like that's a really cool approach. And that's why kids are cool. They can teach you random stuff like that.
Absolutely. I love the idea of that because, I mean, obviously, I think most drummers from hanging out and or talking on this podcast, et cetera, just friends, family, et cetera, there's definitely a common through line there with the personality type of people that are both a little bit jittery, a little bit high energy, and, of course, need some sort of an outlet, some sort of cathartic outlet to bang on shit. And, even better if it has some sort of a melodic nature to it. So I like to think that they're inherently therapeutic. At least they seem to have been for me and most of the drummers that I've talked to,
Yeah, I think so. And it does seem pretty true that most drummers are ADD, ADHD-ish.
Yes.
But it's like we have our vessel and our vehicle to, what I'd say is like ground. It's grounding. Even before a class, sometimes I could be feeling a little funky or something. And after teaching a group drum class for an hour, I feel like more together, it's like, it's back to earth. And yeah, I don't have all the, science and data behind it, but yeah, I feel like it's so primitive. And I feel like, drumming and rhythm is so teachable. It's like, if you can count to 4, and even if you can't, like you can probably play some beats, it might not be Neil Peart or anything, but it's okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, you mentioned the shows that you got coming up in November. Is there anything reaching into 2026 that you can even talk about if y'all have it planned, or is that just a new year and you got stuff on the horizon? Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know how specific I can get or how far along really, but there's some rumblings of Europe in summer. So yeah, like nice. I had mentioned, we were supposed to get back there this past October, right? But the universe had other plans. But yeah, I hope to get back to Europe, play some festivals. It'd be really cool. There's one festival being talked about right now in Germany. So hopefully build up a little tour around that. And just hopefully continue to play with cool bands. Might have been 2 years now, but we were lucky to play with Elder, and we're about to do Castle Rat. So yeah, just hope to keep on doing cool stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah, I would say that y'all and Elder definitely muy simpatico. I feel like there's definitely that kind of ethereal prog stoner thing happening that y'all both do really well with a lot of dynamics, and so that's an awesome pairing for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, we got to see them the night before open for Tool, and I was like, man, rightfully so. Like they've busted their ass for a long time. Yeah. And man, they crushed it opening for Tool. And then the Tool show was amazing as well. Like it was really cool to see a humanizing moment between Danny Carey and I think it was the guitarist, Adam Jones, I believe his name is. There was a small little hit or rhythm or something slightly off, and they looked at each other, and it was just good to see that even the mighty Tool is quite human, and that they acknowledged it in front of 20,000 people. But man, and then the production was just next level.
Oh yeah. Have y'all? It sounds like y'all been to Germany throughout the years. Are y'all well received there?
Yeah, of course we get the comments, the
the stoic, bizarro German fucking. You don't know how to read it.
Yeah. What's the one that Zeb quotes a lot? Last time I saw you guys, I thought you were shit. This time, Not so much.
I think we might have had this very discussion. So sue me. I feel like I either that was like you and I had that joke, or we said it even in the last podcast. But either way, that's a good one, man, and totally accurate. Having been there myself, the Germans are a bizarre bunch, but they do love the rock and the rolls.
They like it, yeah. Even we had a label over there in Germany for a bit, and even he was roasting us. He's like, "Oh, here the new single. I think it's too wheelie dilly. Like you walk into a Guitar Center, like some guy wheelie dilly, and it's okay." I'm like, all right,
dude, whatever.
Thanks.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, man. Well, Scott, dude, it was fun catching up with you, man. Glad to see you're out and about. Again, congrats on the record. Glad you made it through the storm. You're on the other side and keeping it all rolling, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks so much for having me. We'll have to hang in person sometime soon and catch up, and I can share some more of the Florida man stuff.
There you go.
and talk drums and all that.
Sounds good, bro. Good seeing you.
Good to see you. See you, Jody.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to Scott for hanging. Always great to catch up, and glad he's back in the swing of things, given all that's gone down in Asheville. And again, The Turning is a great record, so do check it out if you haven't already. Super proud of my dudes on that one. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Crash, bang, boom.